It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Australia, from Sailor's Grave Brewing Company, and this is their Magic Pudding Ale, coming in at 5.8% ABV in a 375 milliliter can. You can see there Mr. Pudding in his chair. I think he's asleep with a glass of something in his hand. So without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I want to say a massive thank you to Mick in Australia for the beer. Cheers, Mick. I've had a few beers from Sailor's Grave. They've all been quite wonderful, so I'm looking forward to this one. Probably drank a lot of IPA style beers from Sailor's Grave, so this quite possibly is the first beer that I've had that maybe leans towards a more traditional style. Certainly looks that way. We got a 2-finger tan coloured head, deep kind of amber mahogany coloured ale, very deep amber, hazy as you like, slow moving carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. You can see there on the on my left, so your right hand side. Let's get the aroma. Still some New World hops in there. Ooh, but with some, it's got to be salivating. Some kind of roasty, toasty malt going on. It smells really good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, it's nutty, it's biscuity, it's bready. Ooh, this is like nut brown ale. Just like a beautiful, really good, well-made nut brown ale. Really rich, slightly roasty and toasty, nutty, biscuity, bready. First of all, the carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. Then flavours just hit your palate then, with the help of that carbonation pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth. And then you get just this real lovely nuttiness, biscuitiness coming through. Medium mouthfeel as well. For a 5.8% ABV beer, they've called it a pudding, magic pudding, because it has like a thicker mouthfeel to the beer. This reminds me of walking through a French village. You can smell the baguette shop where they just bake the wholemeal baguettes in the morning, and you really, that artisan kind of baguette in France. And actually, I say France, I've also been to West Wales down in Tenby, and we stayed in a pub car park, believe it or not, in a caravan, all hooked up to the electric and stuff. It was one of the best holidays we ever had, because it was like, is it going to be any good? It was really cheap, an Airbnb type thing. And next to the pub, they had a little bit of a building that they didn't have no use for, but one of the owners of the pub that took this pub on was a baker. So they turned it into like a little bakery. Oh, and you want to smell that bakery in the morning. I used to sit outside and have my coffee in the morning, and you'd be able to smell the kind of beautiful baked bread flavours wafting through the air. And it's kind of exactly what you're getting here with this. Really rich and biscuity and bready and nutty. but I'm sure with a touch of New World hops. It's got like a marmalade-y flavour going on. Bit of marmalade. Marmalade and then like a touch of licorice on the back end. So the darker malts are doing two things to the beer, or the hops are doing two things with the darker malts. That might be the better way of describing this. Number one, they're able to hold off the kind of darker malt flavours in a way, so you've still got that kind of marmalade-y flavour that you get from some New World hops. Sometimes I call it kind of fleshy blood orange. This is more of a marmalade. An orange marmalade, but with licorice. So the malts in the beer, there's enough in there to change the hops, to turn it into a more of a licorice flavour, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I feel you could go two ways with this beer. You could go, just finish work, want something refreshing. It's still a refreshing beer, even with that mouthfeel. And really, you could really, as I'm doing now, you could really drink this beer quite quickly. Or you could kind of let it warm up in your hands a little bit and savour it a little bit and drink it slowly if you want. It's a fantastic beer from Sailor's Grave, and it's nice to try something that's not an IPA. We've had so many fantastic IPAs from around the world. It seems the big thing at the last few years is to brew New England IPAs, and everybody loves them, me included. But it's nice to get something a little bit more traditional. What does the can say? Noble Society of Pudding Owners. He is called Albert, has thin arms and legs, and is a bad-tempered, ill-mannered so-and-so. His only pleasure is being eaten, in this case drunk. So do your duty and drink the damn pudding. Magic pudding beer, subtle, spicy bread, fruit, cake aroma, complex caramel and dried fruit notes, with a touch of citrusy tang. Brewed by Bill Barnacle, using a selection of organic sultanas, sun muscat raisins, black gem currants, and marrow from our mates at Murray View Organics. I can read, it's just the silver print and the slightly gold writings quite difficult to see. But I promise you I can read. He's drinking brandy, look, he's drinking brandy. Right, I'm going to rate this, I'm going to rate it. Yeah, it is very fruity. I mentioned kind of marmalade. I was kind of convinced it was New World hops, but it sounds like it's more raisin and sultanas and stuff, which, I mean, I don't think it's too far away really, is it? Let's rate it. Smells good, looks good, tastes good. I really like that. I really like it. It's just something different from Sailor's Grave. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!